Assalamu alaikum. This is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Election Commission to present a free, fair and well accepted election to nation, says CEC. All government offices, including financial institutions, reopen following 10-day holiday of Eid al-Azha. Advisory Council satisfied with meeting between BNP Acting Chairman Tariq Rahman and Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus in London, says Environment Advisor. Healthcare establishments in Chattogram city and rural areas ready to test coronavirus. At least 13 people killed in central and northern Israel by Iranian strikes. And Inter Miami and Al Ahly play out scoreless draw in Club World Cup opener. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Chief Election Commissioner A.M.M. Nasruddin today said the Commission will present a fair, nice and well-accepted election to the nation. He said this in a post-Eid meeting for views exchange with the commissioners and officials of the Election Commission at the Nirbachan Bhavan at Agargaon in the capital. The Chief Election Commissioner said the Commission will perform its duties as a referee. Nonetheless, who are the players and who will win? Referring to the Chief Advisor's pledge to the nation and the world, the CEC said Election Commission want to present a historical election to the nation. Following a 10-day holiday on the occasion of Eid al-Azha, all government offices, including the Bangladesh Secretariat, as well as banks, insurance companies and financial institutions, reopened today. Upon returning to their workplaces on the first day, officials and employees exchanged greetings, reflecting the Eid holiday atmosphere. From courts and the Secretariat to the banking district and corporate offices, attendance was notably high. However, being the first day back, the Eid spirit was still present everywhere. Many expressed that while it was wonderful to spend quality time with family during the break, they also missed their colleagues, many of whom feel like a second family. After this initial wave of greetings, everyone gradually got back to their responsibilities. Now, the professional life of the capital is returning to its familiar rhythm. Meanwhile, with most officials present in their offices, services are being delivered smoothly, leaving service seekers satisfied. Environment Advisor Rizwana Hassan said the Advisory Council is satisfied with the meeting between BNP Acting Chairman Tariq Rahman and Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus in London. If any political party has anything to say on the matter, it should be discussed with the Chief Advisor. He told this to the reporters on the first working day at the Secretariat after Eid today. The Environment Advisor said any kind of problem is solved through dialogue. The other advisors were present at the time. Road Transport and Power Advisor Fazul Kabir said this time there was a 2-day holiday before Eid and traffic jams on the way home on Eid due to unfit vehicles. He said strict action will be taken against unfit vehicles. Women and Children Affairs Advisor Sharmin H. Murshid said the government is going to take some visible policy decisions to curb violence against women. If this is implemented, the violence against women in the country will at least reduce to some extent. Fisheries and Livestock Advisor Farida Akhtar said this time the sacrifice was made with sufficient domestic cows. There were many more animals already than the number of sacrifices. The new type of corona Omicron infection is increasing in Chattogram, like the rest of the country. The symptoms of this very powerful virus are different from any type of COVID-19 virus. The concerned ones have urged to follow the corona health guidelines. They said at the same time the disease should be diagnosed and treated on the advice of a doctor on time. All healthcare centers in the city and Upazila have been kept ready for this purpose. In the last 24 hours, 9 people have been tested positive out of 150 samples tested with COVID cases in Chattogram. 18 persons have been tested positive with the virus in Chattogram in the last 7 days. At present, 3 patients are admitted to the 250-bed corona-dedicated Chattogram General Hospital. Like before, in addition to Chattogram Medical College Hospital, Sivasu BITID and University of Chittagong Lab, some private diagnostic centers also have facilities for corona testing. The authorities concerned have directed to strictly follow the health and safety rules to prevent the infection of coronavirus. Now, international news. Iran launched missiles at parts of central and northern Israel after Israel's military confirmed it carried out attacks on Iranian nuclear infrastructure. Israeli emergency services said at least 13 people were killed in Iranian strikes, but Iran made no mention of casualties from Israeli attacks. Rescue workers raced against the clock to free people trapped in rubble. Tehran's Shahran oil depot is still in operation after being struck by an Israeli missile as oil exports resume between Afghanistan and Iran. A third night of strikes has drowned out possibility of a nuclear deal. President Trump spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Saturday over the phone for 50 minutes, where the two leaders discussed the Israel-Iran conflict and negotiations to end the 3-year war in Ukraine. Putin's aide Yuri Ushakov said Putin told Trump about this Friday conversations with both Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian the importance of preventing the escalation in the Middle East and that Russia is ready to carry out mediation efforts if needed. Ushakov said Trump assessed the situation in the Middle East as very alarming and acknowledged the effectiveness of Israel's strikes on Iran that have resulted in the killing of a number of Tehran's military leaders and dozens of nuclear scientists. Trump confirmed that the two presidents mostly talked about the back and forth between Israel and Iran, but also touched on the developments in the Russia-Ukraine war. Israeli fire and air strikes killed at least 79 Palestinians across the Gaza Strip, a number of them near an aid distribution site operated by the United States and Israeli-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation (GHF), the latest deaths of people desperately seeking food for their hungry families. Medics at Al-Auda and Al-Aqsa hospitals in central Gaza, where most of the casualties were moved to, said at least 15 people were killed on Saturday as they tried to approach the GHF aid distribution site near the so-called Netzarim corridor. The rest were killed in separate attacks across the besieged and bombarded enclave, they added. The Gaza Ministry of Health said since the GHF started operations last month, at least 274 people have been killed and more than 2,000 wounded near aid distribution sites. 7 people have died in a helicopter crash in the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand today. The aircraft was flying from Kedarnath along a popular Hindu pilgrimage route in the Himalayan mountains. Rescue teams were immediately dispatched and a drive to retrieve the bodies has been carried out with local police. The pilot and a 2-year-old child were among those killed. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation said, adding that the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau will investigate the crash. India's Ministry of Civil Aviation said the Aryan Aviation Bell 407 helicopter VTBKA took off on Sunday just after 5:15 local time. 5 passengers, 1 child and 1 crew member were on board. The flight bound for Gupt Kashi, another popular town for pilgrims.